Hey, Kyle's Wonderful here again with another wrestling review. This time it's NJPW G1 Night 19 from August 17th, 2022, live from Tokyo, Japan at the Nippon Budokan. So Wednesday sees the G1 Climax 32 semifinals in the Budokan, as the final four will become the final two tonight, while a stacked undercard will see the return of big junior heavyweights and international names and the rest of the heavyweights that didn't get invited to the G1. So not only will we have a double main event with the two semifinal matches, Tama Tonga against Okada, and then for the very first time in the main event for the first singles match ever, Tetsuya Naito against Will Ospreay. But all the preliminary tag matches also feature people returning, such as like the junior heavyweights and, like I said, the rest of the heavyweights that weren't in there. So this and the next night as well should set us up nicely for the rest of 2022. And we start that tonight. So we'll see where all the stories and all the journeys of everybody are going to take them. Start with everybody that's not in the semifinals, which are going to be amazing, of course. Let's see who maybe improved or got worse with the time off. Maybe some people were working on some stuff, needed the rest, or maybe some people would be rusty. Along with that, we'll see two tag team matches for both TMDK and Team Filthy each, once again trying to make their case to get invited back for World Tag League, as both teams will take on established teams, former IWGP heavyweight champion teams. So if they can get a win there, they might get that invite later on in the year. Only two more chances to impress tonight and tomorrow for Team Filthy and K9 Connection from TMDK. So let's get to the first match. This should be a great event, and I cannot wait for Naito against Ospreay in the main event. So we had a new opening video this time after 18 straight times in a row getting the same video. This one now ends with showing how the four black winners got here. So that was a pretty cool way to start off the event. And then we get to start with some people that we haven't seen in a while, as the first match is an 8-man tag. Chaos represented by Hirooki Goto, Tomohiro Ishii, Yo, who returns, and then YOSHI-HASHI. So that does feature the never open weight 6-man tag champs. Suzuki-gun is going to be their opponents. Also returning is DOUKI. He teams with Lance Archer, who lost in the main event against Okada last night, TAKA Michinoku, and Yoshinobu Kanemaru, who also makes his return. Action in the Budokan tonight starts with an 8-man tag. Like I said, G1 wasn't quite in the cards for Lance Archer after a narrow defeat last night after destroying Okada. But the never 6-man tag type champions might be an attractive reason for Lance Archer to stay in Japan, although I doubt it. Whether or not that would please Taka Michinoku depends on if the two can finally get their double team success percentage up tonight. So that's another storyline, as they've missed every single one of their double team attempts where Archer slams Taka down. So for the first match tonight, we get, it was pretty cool that we get to hear Lance Archer's music right after he destroyed Okada in the main event last night, but still lost. If you missed out on Archer's really good backstage comments, I do put up all the separate videos for the backstage comments. You can find them as well. Really good stuff from Archer, who destroys all three young lions on his way to the ring. Now we got, like I said, two guys making their G1 tours come out with them, DOUKI and Kanemaru. We did see Kanemaru stick up for Miho Abe against Gato, but Kanemaru was doing Japanese commentary, just didn't have any matches. So we get to hear Goto's amazing music next as he captains out the Chaos side. Finally, Yo has returned to New Japan. Yo was the star of the New Japan Road shows, the shows between Dominion and G1. So in that, Yo pinned show to win Chaos the never 6-man tag titles, and we haven't seen Yo since that time, since that match. So Goto and YOSHI-HASHI have been carrying around the 6-man titles all tour to remind everyone that they are the champions. Anyway, Archer's talking trash to Ishii, and he wants them to start the match. So it's the two men who might have just had their last G1 matches last night, both in their mid-40s. Ishii and Archer are going to start this match. Archer starts strong with a shoulder tackle, but then pretty quickly after that, DOUKI tags himself in. So Archer doesn't even know who the heck DOUKI is. I don't think they've ever met before. So DOUKI then takes out Ishii, but the whole 6-man tag champion unit runs in. They hit triple team war drums on everyone's back. But when Archer gets hit, he just knocks them all out of the ring right after. Archer then attacks Ishii more before leaving. Then DOUKI tags in Kanemaru. They hit a nice double team here on Ishii, where Kanemaru, if you missed it at Forbidden Door, impressed everybody. Kanemaru's now attacking Ishii's knee. Archer now tags back in. Ishii, it's a few strikes on him, but it was just one big strike from Archer, crumples Ishii to the ground. Archer then hits a snap suplex and tags in TAKA. Here we go. Ishii fires up, but TAKA pokes the eyes. I thought we were going to get the double team there, but not yet. Ishii then blocks a bicycle kick from TAKA and hits a suplex. Ishii now tags in Yo, who has some of the best hot tag offense in New Japan right now. And Yo does do some great offense here with finishing with a sweet-looking flying twisting forearm. Bushiman now come in to help out their six-man tag champ here, and they hit double teams, but Archer counters their double team, and Archer then slams Yo down. So Archer wants to slam TAKA on the Yo, but TAKA counters out of the scoop slam and then lifts Archer up a little bit, but then gets squashed by Archer trying to lift him up. That was kind of funny. So they got one more chance maybe tomorrow to finally hit that. Archer and Ishii now block suplexes back and forth until Yo drop kicks Archer from behind, allowing Ishii to hit a vertical suplex. Yo then hits a super kick on TAKA, and Yo hits the direct drive on TAKA for the 1-2-3. The winners of this match are Chaos. So it's definitely great to have Yo back. I hope he's on every show for the rest of the year. That's how great he's gotten. His hot tags are awesome. Although Yo has debuted new terrible red ginger hair. Just looks awful on him. Anyway, I wonder who's going to take on Chaos for their first six-man title defense. I have no clue at this point. Maybe a rematch with House of Torture, or I'm not really sure who else it could be. So anyway, we'll see who they take on tomorrow. Maybe we'll get some clues from that. If it's Suzuki-gun again, maybe it's them that they'll take on. So speaking of Suzuki-gun, they'll be in the next match as well, as Dangerous Tekkers revives their tag team. It'll be Taichi and Zack Sabre Jr. against Team Filthy, Royce Isaacs, and Filthy Tom Lawlor. So extremely attractive tag prospect indeed. Last time we saw Zack Sabre Jr. and Tom in the ring, it was a technical wrestling clinic, and this match was again. So if you're a technical wrestling fan, do not miss this match. So Royce Isaacs and Tom Lawlor get a big chance and a step towards that World Tag League invite against three-time IWGP Tag Team Champions Dangerous Tekkers. The last time Lawlor and Sabre shared the ring, it was amazing. So this is going to be great. Sabre's exit from the G1 in under 2 minutes against Naito Tuesday sent the Briton into a furious and destructive rage, just taking out everything ringside. So he's really feeling the pressure Zack is about never getting a singles title in 5 years, and thinks that something has to change. So we'll see if we see anything different from Zack tonight. On the other hand, a tremendous opportunity exists for Team Filthy, with Lawlor defeating Jeff Cobb to end his debut G1 campaign with a highly respectable 3-3 in the Monster Block, where he was like the smallest guy by far. So the spirits are still high before Isaacs reunites with his tag partner in the West Coast Wrecking Crew, Jarrell Nelson, in just a week's time for the strong openweight tag team gold against United Empire's Aussie Open. So hilariously, Royce Isaacs comes out with a Taichi mask and a microphone stand, and he's lip syncing or singing the Team Filthy music as they come out. So that was pretty funny by Royce Isaacs. Tom Lawler's definitely no Miho Abe, even if their shorts are the same length. So that was an awesome entrance there, mocking Taichi. But now they just made Taichi mad, and Zack was already mad. So let's see if they pay for this. Zack doesn't even come out right away when Taichi does. And then Zack eventually comes out looking mad. He's not talking his normal trash. He looks beyond angry. So I would not want to be Team Filthy in this one. But maybe Tom is just the man for the job. So the crowd's doing the Filthy clap, as they absolutely love Team Filthy. And if Team Filthy wins this match against Dangerous Tekkers, they would think they'd have to get invited to World Tag League. So Taichi tells Royce that his mic stand is a little too small, and then points to his package, if you will. That was kind of funny from Taichi. Good response. So Tom Lawlor has brought Zack a gift. It's a George Michael vinyl record. Tom then, so Zack takes it. Then Tom pulls out a Boy George vinyl record and says that Boy George is better. This makes Zack take that Boy George record and break it over his knee. This makes Tom mad, and that's how we start this match, with Tom taking down Zack with a nice takedown. Team Filthy then hit a double team on Zack, but Taichi blocks their double team. Zack then goes to work on Isaac's arm. So those two are going to start the match, but Taichi tags in and works on the throat right after that. From outside the ring, Zack's working on Isaac's ankle, and then Taichi, it's a stiff kick to the back. So Royce is able to hit a pop-up knee strike and then tag in Tom. Tom then knocks Zack off the apron, then hits some running forearms and hyperextends the arm of Taichi a couple times. Then Tom hits an arm drag, but Taichi hits a beautiful counter to hit a heel hook, one of the best counters of the night, which is saying a lot when you got Ospreay and Naito in the main event. Zack then tags in with the nasty looking European uppercuts here. Tom answers back with some forearms and leg kicks. Tom then applies a cravat and some knee strikes. So here we go. We're about to get our technical excellence here. Tom blocks a Pele kick, then looks for an ankle lock, but Zack reverses it into a heel hook. Tom reverses that into a scorpion. They go back and forth here. Eventually, Zack applies a triangle choke, but Tom reverses it into a Boston Crab. Then Zack applies a hammerlock on the arm. Tom can't quite get out, so he has to get to the ropes. But once he does, he applies, applies a guillotine, but Zack reverses it into one of his own. Then Tom slams Zack to the mat. So that was an amazing sequence right there. That's the kind of wrestling I love. And if you like that kind of wrestling as well, this is a must-watch match. Royce now tags in and he hits a Falcon Arrow. That looked nice. Tom hits a penalty kick right after that for the double team. Taichi has to come in and break up the pin. Taichi then sumo wrestles with Tom, hitting a sumo throw on him. Royce Isaacs takes control and hits a bunch of corner lariats on Zack. And then, wow, Zack just charges in big time, and Royce nearly knocks him unconscious with a nasty knee to the face, right on the charging Zack. Meanwhile, Tom has a cravat on Taichi on the outside. I thought that might have been it, as Royce now hits a deadlift brainbuster, but Zack Sabre Jr. is just able to kick out. Zack then counters the next move with a Euro clutch pin. I thought that might have been it too, but Royce is able to get out. Zack then applies a hold on the arm. Royce is finding it really tough to get out of this one. It was like a hammerlock variant of that. Taichi then gets control of Tom outside of the ring. Zack applies a fully extended armbar, and that forces Royce Isaac to tap out because it would have been snapped. The winners of this match by submission, Dangerous Tekkers, and I wonder if they're going to try for the tag titles again, or have they completely moved past that phase of their life. It'll be interesting. Like I said, if you missed my suggestion for Zack Sabre Jr. last night, I'm sure everyone would laugh at it and call me crazy, but I said give Zack Sabre Jr. the Azuka Iron Fingers claw of from hell and make him like a berserker. You can still have Zack Sabre Jr. do all the technical wrestling, but just turn him into this berserker type character that has that claw. He doesn't have to cheat all the time. He's just like a pure like rage monster, like always doing the stuff we saw Zack do last night. I think because like he's already proven that he's one of the best technical, if not the best technical wrestler in the world. It's still not enough to ever convince New Japan to give him a singles title. I don't know what he needs to do. So maybe switching it up so that he's always in that rage mode where he's trashing tables and chairs. And I mean, I guess we kind of got a lot of those guys. Like the entire Bullet Club kind of does that. Like that's what Juice Robinson's doing, kind of, to be a heel and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting. That was just one little quick idea. Maybe give him the Iron Claw, which makes him a berserker. But anyway, Zack leaves with his new George Michael's vinyl record. After Zack and Tom have a huge argument here, probably over Boy George and George Michael. So that match was a must see, like I said, for technical wrestling fans. And I really wish Tom Lawlor could be in New Japan full time, but I know that Tom Lawlor is a family man with kids in school here in the States, so that's probably out of the question. That's why Tom Lawlor is in New Japan Strong, like instead of New Japan. Anyway, we've got a big tag match next. It's the other team that can prove themselves for the World Tag League, as TMDK's K9 Connection, Bad Dude Tito, and JONAH will take on Great Bash heel Togi Makabe and Tomoaki Honma. So tag team action sees Honma and Makabe return tonight in a difficult pair of opponents with Bad Dude Tito and JONAH. JONAH was just one win off of the semi-final place at A Block, only getting those 2 countouts. That he never got pinned, never submitted. But Tito has impressed also throughout this tour. Can they defeat back-to-back World Tag League winners and former IWGP champions to maybe get that call for a second TMDK? Because you got to imagine Shane Haste and Mikey Nichols are already going to be in World Tag League. Can the other TMDK tag team get in as well? That's if JONAH doesn't get signed to like WWE before then. I could see that happening because JONAH's probably the hottest free agent in the entire world right now. And Triple H is going to want him back. He had him there before as Bronson Reed in NXT. Now that Triple H is taking back over, I could see Triple H pulling out a nice hefty $5 million check to bring JONAH back in. So anyway, if JONAH and Bad Dude Tito, like I said, maybe could get the World Tag League, they've won a few of their matches on this tour, so if they win here, that would be the cherry on top of it. Great Bash heel come out, Makabe and Honma, a couple of the older guys that were already retired from G1, but we did see them on the road to tour right before G1, so now they're back well rested. They look good, ready for this match. So this match starts hot here. TMDK came out by the first, by the way. Nothing unusual on their entrance. The match starts hot with all four men fighting in the ring at the same time, but Jonah's too big and he's able to take control for the K9 connection. Honma and Tito are going to start out this match. Tito hits a backbreaker and a side slam combo. That looked nice already to start this match. Then Tito rams Honma into the TMDK corner and tags in Jonah. Jonah rakes the face here, which was a surprise. But anyway, he hits a scoop slam right after. Tito tags in and hits a slingshot senton as he comes in. Tito tells Honma to get up, so Honma absorbs strikes while he gets up here, and then Honma hits a DDT. Makabe now tags in and hits a shoulder tackle on Tito. Makabe then knocks Jonah off the apron, and we hear somebody going to the barricade. I'm not quite sure who, though. Honma then hits mounted I wrote down Honma, but it should have probably been, it was Makabe, hits mounted corner punches, then counters are charging Tito with a clothesline here. So Makabe is definitely looking good for the little bit of a break there. I wonder what he was doing during the summer. Tito then hits a bad looking enziguri, unfortunate on that one, then tags in Jonah. Jonah then hits some corner slams and a scoop slam. Jonah hits a rolling shoulder tackle on a seated Makabe. That was cool. Makabe then hits a best shot of the night, knocking Jonah down here, or the night so far, I should say. Honma then tags in and hits chops on Jonah in the corner. Jonah's chest is already turning red. Honma then counters Jonah, but Jonah counters right back. Neither man getting an advantage here. Honma then hits a flying Kokeshi headbutt, followed by hitting the falling Kokeshi headbutt. So Makabe then throws out Tito, and GBH hit a double team suplex on Jonah here. Tito then throws Makabe into the barricade. Honma hulks up. Honma Mania running wild, but Jonah, massive body splash tackle, takes him right back down. Tito then comes in and they hit a double team, ending with a blue thunder bomb from Tito, followed by a standing splash from Jonah. But Makabe breaks up the pin and takes out Tito. Jonah stays on his feet after the attack, so Makabe grabs Honma and throws Honma right hard into Jonah into the corner. That was a big shot to Jonah, who's just barely able to kick out at 2 now. Makabe is fighting Tito on the outside, while Jonah Jonah and Honma hit heads with each other, but Jonah is able to come off of that, hitting a big lariat, and that decapitates Honma for the 1-2-3. So the winners of this match by pinfall, TMDK's K9 Connection. So like I said, if Jonah doesn't sign with WWE before World Tag League, you'd have to think K9 Connection would be invited alongside Shane Haste and Mikey Nichols for 2 TMDK teams in World Tag League. So no matter what, Jonah, no matter who Jonah's in the ring with, he can have a great match. We saw it here with pulling out a decent match out of Honma. So great stuff here. Jonah's the hottest free agent in the business. There's no doubt in my mind. Unless like Tom Lawlor, or there's a few others, but Tom Lawlor really impressed during this tour as well. So it'll be interesting to see what Jonah does after G1. You're going to have to imagine he's going to want a little bit of a break, but he's probably not going to take too big of a break, because he's probably going to get huge money in the independents, unless he just gets a call. He might have already gotten the call from Triple H for a $5 million contract to WWE. So now we have a 6-man tag match next, as we got 3 big tag matches in a row featuring Bullet Club. That's how damn many members there are at Bullet Club. And Bullet Club has so many members that they were still able to field a 5-man team on Impact Wrestling over the weekend. Even with all these Bullet Club members on duty during G1, they still were able to form a 5-man team with Ace Austin, Chris Bay, the Good Brothers, and Hikuleo. So there's just so many damn Bullet Club members. I really wish they would get rid of the House of Torture. They don't need them for sure. So anyway, on a Bullet Club themed undercard here, the trio of Chase Owens, Bad Luck Fale, and Juice Robinson take on United Empire, while Will Ospreay remains in the hunt here in the main event tonight. It's been a mixed bag for the rest of the faction. Jeff Cobb was unable to replicate the phenomenal success he had in 2021, while Great Khan suffered a severe disappointment with a 2-4 outing, and Hanari strung impressive performances, but the results did not go his way. Results didn't go Bullet Club's way either, with only 2 wins. each for Fale, Owens, and Juice. So then all 6 of these men have to reset for the fall going into Wrestle Kingdom season. So the original Bullet Club music hits now as Bad Luck Fale likes to use the original one instead of the newer one. So Bad Luck Fale captains this team. It'll be Chase Owens and Juice Robinson. Then Jeff Cobb captains the United Empire trio. So still no other United Empire members with them. I was hoping to maybe see at least the junior tag team champions tonight, TJP and Akira Francesca of the United Empire, but nope, they're not here. At least not as of yet. So Fale and Great O'Khan are going to start this match. Fale says, "Give me the first shot." So Fale gets hit with a forearm, then hits a massive forearm back. They go back and forth for a little while here, kind of slow, just like all Fale matches. O'Khan then hits multiple in a row, but Fale hits him in the throat to stop that. O'Khan answers back with some Mongolian chops, but Fale answers right back with a shoulder tackle. Then he knocks Cobb and Hanari off the apron as well. Chase Owens now tags in, hitting some stomps in the corner, then tags in Juice, who the two of them then wishbone the legs of O'Khan, make a wish, and then Juice hits some elbow drops on O'Khan's knee in a row here, then applying a knee bar. Chase then takes cheap shots and tags back in right after. Chase hits Mongolian chop on a couple of them on O'Khan, but O'Khan answers back with a snap suplex. Jeff Cobb and Juice now both come in. Cobb hits a drop kick that knocks Fale right off the apron. Then Cobb deadlifts Juice right off the mat, and a Chase attacks him from behind to stop that. So Cobb then hits a massive belly-to-belly overhead suplex, and Hanari tags in, hitting some big body punches here. Cobb steps in now, or he stays in so that he can double team Juice, but Chase pulls Cobb out of the ring. Fale runs in to attack Hanari. Juice rakes the eyes here and tags in Chase. Hanari then hits more big body punches, but a step up knee strike in the corner as well from Hanari. Fale grabs Chase to stop this attack and stop momentum from Hanari. Chase and Hanari then have a striking exchange. Chase is definitely going to have to watch out for that, but they both hit nice combos. Chase then hits a rebound lariat, but Hanari is able to absorb it. Then Hanari hits a massive body punch, just one big one. But now he looks for the Streets of Rage, but Chase blocks it. And almost inexplicably here, Chase Owens hits the C-trigger knee strike and the package pile driver, getting the 1-2-3 on Hanari. So the winner of this match by pinfall is Bullet Club. So, what up, Jigga? Oh, yeah, the A&E stuff was great. Yeah, so Hanari losing clean to Chase Owens. I'm not a big fan of that. I think Hanari's really shown that he's one of the best in this G1. Even though Chase has shown he's good too, but I mean, no offense to Chase Owens, but there's 100 different Chase Owens in the world, but there's only like 20, 25 Hanaris in the entire world. So that's a little disappointing to see Hanari losing here to Chase Owens. I guess Hanari just has to work on it a few more years before he starts picking up wins. He's still getting pinned out here by Chase Owens, but I guess that does, it might be storyline here, putting Chase Owens and Fale ahead of United Empire in the tag rankings, potentially. So you got to imagine we're going to see FTR in Japan pretty soon, because we haven't heard anything about the IWGP heavyweight titles that FTR currently holds. So we have a little bit of an intermission here, and then we have 2 more tag matches, and then the 2 semifinals after that. Let me get a quick drink. Little intermission drink. All right, so like I said earlier, we got 2 Bullet Club tag matches in a row next after the one we just got. So after a month, we got an 8-man tag match next. Bullet Club represented by El Fantasmo, Evil, Kenta, and Yujiro Takahashi taking on Los Ingobernables de Japón, Bushi, Sanada, Shingo, and the returning Hiromu Takahashi. So after a month of PR appearances and United States matches, Hiromu Takahashi is back in Japanese action tonight against the Bullet Club. So the Bullet Club side includes NJPW's newest official heavyweight El Fantasmo, declaring last night that he's never returning to the junior division after he used the CR3 to defeat Shingo Takagi last night. How will Shingo react to this loss, and how will ELP react to the biggest victory of his career? So wow, how is Kenta not the captain of this Bullet Club unit, as they all come out the Evil's music with Dick Togo and Show in front, making this a House of Torture team, even though ELP and Kenta are way too good to be associated with House of Torture. Bullet Club really needs to kick House of Torture out. Kenta has his book with him, and then we see that ELP's jacket, the light up jacket on the LED board says Shingo's daddy. Whew, fighting words if I've ever heard one. So, or some. So it's more than one. But anyway, huge shot after ELP beat Shingo last night. Great stuff there. That was funny. Also, I'm thinking, why couldn't Kenta have joined like Suzuki-gun instead of Bullet Club? Or really, Kenta is kind of a perfect fit for LIJ with his kind of new personality, even though it wouldn't have worked out because him and Naito are kind of rivals. So Bushi comes out first for the LIJ quartet here. As usual, Bushi always comes out first. Then we get the returning Hiromu that gets a good claps from the crowd here. Sonata comes out and he says something funny to Hiromu, and they have a good laugh. Then Shingo comes out looking upset about last night. So you'd have to wonder if anybody told Shingo about ELP's jacket, and if they did, and maybe they did because Shingo attacks ELP right away. No fist pose from LIJ or nothing like that. So Shingo and ELP now brawl in the outside here. With hatred in Shingo's eyes, as Yujiro and Hiromu, the two Takahashis, are going to fight in the ring to start this match out. Evil actually comes in right away, though, and Hiromu counters their double team, eventually hitting a shotgun dropkick on the both House of Torture members at the same time. Shingo now tags in, but Yujiro blocks the move by biting his hand, of course. Yujiro then hits a pretty nice-looking basement dropkick. I like that. Kenta now tags in, and Shingo's all taped up on his shoulder and neck tonight, so Kenta immediately goes after his neck with a tight headlock. Then Shingo gets to the ropes to break this. ELP now tags in and does a back rake. Evil tags in, hits a back rake. Yujiro tags in, hits a back rake. Evil now rips some of the tape off of Shingo's back. Shingo was probably all taped up because of that CR3 big shot from ELP last night, who's now tuning up the band in the corner, but Shingo's able to block the sudden death super kick and hits a combo ending with the DDT. Great combo from Shingo. Evil now tags in and he kicks the rest of the LIJ off the apron, but Shingo hits him with the dragon screw leg whip right after that. Sonata now tags in and hits drop kicks to everyone, clearing the apron. Then Evil gets put into the Paradise Lock. Sho runs into the ring and gets put in the Paradise Lock. Same thing with Dick Togo. I think Sho also got kicked in the yam bags as well by Sonata. So they're all three in the Paradise locked in a ball here. Sonata hits a drop kick to both Sho and Evil at the same time, releasing them. But Sonata just leaves Dick Togo in the ball with his butt up in the air in the corner. So then Evil and Sonata both block moves back and forth. Eventually, Evil dropped toe hold Sonata's face right into Goto's butt. And I'm not going to lie, I laughed out loud on that one. That one caught me off guard. So anyway, that was kind of funny. Kenta now tags in and hits a Russian leg sweep for a 2 count on Sonata, and something's happening on the outside of the ring we can hear, but Kenta now grabs his book and gives Sonata a paper cut with it, then hits Sonata with the book, which it's just a paperback, so it's not even hardcover. Sonata then accidentally kicks Kenta in the yam bags on his way down, quote unquote accidentally. So then Bushi now tags in and he dives to the outside right on the Kenta. Sho and Dick Togo then get taken out by Bushi, who's been having a great tour, G1 tour for Bushi. So back in the ring, Bushi hits a DDT on Kenta for a 2 count, and then a perfect snap power slam by Kenta to reverse a charging Bushi. Thing of beauty. We get to see another one right in a row as well. So 2 great power slams by Kenta in a row. Now ELP and Sonata tag in, but ELP, it's a sudden death. Shingo, I think it was actually. ELP and Shingo are in, but ELP, it's the sudden death super kick on Shingo. Bushi rolls up Kenta for a 2 count, so nobody tagged in. Bushi's still the legal man. Kenta applies game over after kicking out at 2, and it's the game over label lock. So can Bushi get out of here? We have House of Torture keeping LIJ from getting in the ring. Kenta now puts his book over the face of Bushi as Bushi taps out from the label lock. As the winners of this match by submission, Bullet Club. Now the bell's ringing about 20 times in a row as we see that Shingo has been destroyed by ELP in the House of Torture outside the ring. So while there definitely has to be another Shingo ELP match pretty soon, and they've got a big rivalry going. So ELP mocks Shingo this entire end of the match here. And we didn't quite get to see much of the returning Hiromu, so maybe he'll do some more tomorrow. Shingo's so mad, he throws a chair into the ring, and ELP just really cockily gets the chair, sits in it, and mocks Shingo even more. So Great stuff from ELP. All right, so 8-man tag next. That match was all right. Like I said, I wish we could have seen Hiromu a little bit more. So 8-man tag match is our last preliminary match tonight, and it'll be David Finlay, Hiroshi Tanahashi, Kushida, who makes his return, and Toru Yano of all people. So then they'll take on a Bullet Club quartet here of Doc Gallows, Jay White, Carl Anderson, and Taiji Ishimori. So the Good Brothers return, as well as the junior heavyweight champion Taiji Ishimori. So the sixth match this evening sees the return of Kushida to Japan rings alongside Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson amid a busy period for the time splitter. Kushida coming off an impressive stretch in both New Japan Strong and Impact Wrestling. We just saw him at the pay-per-view on Friday night, as well as the Good Brothers were in a big 8-10-man tag. So anyway, this is going to be a good match with Taiji Ishimori also returning. For the Bullet Club side, 3 champions are in the building today, even though Jay White's not going to be in a good mood after last night, his spot in the G1 Final Four taken from him from Tama Tonga of all people. So the catalyst of professional wrestling must now engineer a different path to Wrestle Kingdom 17 as champion. With Carl Anderson making his first appearance since winning the Never Openweight title, you got to wonder who's going to be the first to challenge him. Go Ace now hits, and it was actually a rare night off last night where we did not hear Tanahashi's music play because Tanahashi did not have a match. Even if Tanahashi had gone undefeated in his block, he wouldn't have been at that event last night. That's just kind of how it worked out. Kushida comes out first, then Yano gets his long entrance, which goes over the Go Ace music, which was kind of funny. Then David Finlay is here as well, having to be feeling super disappointed that he's not in the semifinals tonight. But Finlay can still take a lot from beating Juice, Shingo, and Ospreay in his first ever G1. So next, the Bullet Club music hits, and it has some of the original members here, but it's the new Bullet Club music anyway, because Jay White's there. So Carl Anderson, Doc Gallows, the Impact Tag Champions. Anderson also the Nova Openweight. So they bring in the junior heavyweight champion, who's also an Impact veteran himself from way back in the day, Taiji Ishimori. So this is kind of like hidden in the back. We finally see Jay White with Goto. So he's a little bit maybe embarrassed or something after that loss. Jay White gets to the ring, holds up the title high, and says, "I'm still the champ. It's still my era, and I'm still the catalyst of professional wrestling." So Finlay and Anderson are going to start this match. Finlay gets wrist control, but Anderson takes him down with a headlock, and then Finlay gets out and they reset. So I could definitely see Finlay getting himself into the Never Openweight title mix, maybe even winning it before the year's over. I could see that happening. So Finlay and Juice did have a bunch of matches against the Good Brothers on Impact over the last year, so these two know each other well. Finlay now hits some big strikes, but Carl Anderson fights back. They have a hockey fight here, but then it moves into big European uppercuts. Finlay tries a bunch of nice pinning attempts in a row and then hits an arm drag when those don't work. Tanahashi now tags in, hitting a striking combo right away on Anderson. Tanahashi hits a springboard crossbody, but Ishimori is able to trip Tanahashi from outside the ring. Right after that, then Kushida trips Anderson right back to you, fighting fire with fire. Doc Gallows then kicks Tanahashi from the apron, and this allows Anderson to hit a nasty double A spine buster. Then Jay White tags in, and he goes wild with some shoulder thrusts on Tanahashi all in a row, maybe 20 of them quickly. Gallows then comes in, hitting big body punches on Tanahashi. Gallows tagged in, I should say. Jay tags back in, applying a headlock. Tanahashi's just about to get out, but Jay hits a knee to the gut. Tanahashi after that hits a striking combo, but then Jay hits one big nasty chop here. Tanahashi answers back with a twist and shout after Jay hesitated after the chop. So Kushida now tags in, hitting a handspring heel kick to clear the apron off. Then Ishimori tags in as well. So Kushida and Ishimori, who probably is going to be the next people to fight for the that's probably Ishimori's next challenger. So Kushida takes him out with a cartwheel drop kick. Then Kushida looks for the hoverboard lock. Ishimori is able to block it. So Ishimori then hits a or blocks a hammer. Kushida blocks the hammerlock suplex right after that, and then Ishimori hits a nice handspring kick. So that's going to be an amazing match when that happens. Yano does not want to tag in because Gallows just tagged in, but Kushida hits a springboard attack and then tags in Yano anyway. Yano comes in and Gallows hits a clubbing blow. The Good Brothers then double team neckbreaker slam here on Yano, but Finlay comes in to break up the pin. Jay White then takes Finlay out, sending him hard into the barricade. Tanahashi saves Yano from the Magic Killer here, and Tanahashi goes on the hit. Tanahashi and Yano, I looked like they both hit the Good Brothers with low blows. I'm not quite sure, but anyway, Yano gets the roll up and for the 1-2-3. As usual, like the English announcers like don't really. They're like, oh, my monitor went out. I didn't see anything because they're doing like a whole comedy gimmick. In the meantime, it happened so fast, I didn't see if there actually was low blows or not. But the guys were holding their yam bags, so I assume there was. And Tanahashi probably did the low blow again, which seems a little weird. So anyway, the winners of the match are by pinfall are Yano, Finley, Kushida, and Tanahashi. So that's 3 pins in a row that Gallows has eaten in the last 2 weeks. First, the PCO in a street fight on Impact. Then Bullet Club lost a big 5 versus 5 against Honor No More at the pay-per-view, and now getting pinned by Yano. So pretty wild that Gallows has eaten so many pins. I think he lost badly at Dominion as well. So here we go. The final 2 tag matches were great, but it kind of surprised me. It was like, oh, it's time for the semifinals of G1 that I've been watching this tournament and following since the beginning. So it's time for some serious business now. Our first of the semifinal matches sees Kazuchika Okada against Tama Tonga. The winner of A Block, Okada, takes on the winner of B Block, Tama Tonga. Both men are here off the backs of huge successes last night in the Budokan. So Okada overcame the intimidating force that is Lance Archer after getting destroyed, somehow winning that match. Tonga had the seemingly unbeatable Switchblade Jay White that he won in a big rivalry match after Tama Tonga got kicked out of Bullet Club by Jay White. So indeed, Tama knows what it's like to beat the unseemingly beatable, because last year Okada's sole blemish and an 8-1 winning record for the Rainmaker, who went on to win the entire thing, was a loss to Tama Tonga last year in the block stage. So we know it's possible, and Tama's proven that he's an amazing singles competitor over this last year or so. So this is really looking to be a big fight. It has a big fight feel to it. Last night we heard Tama Tonga actually did think Jay White's been wanting Tama to thank him. So Tama finally thanked him last night after beating Jay. Thank you for pushing me off that ledge so that I can now fly. So let's see if Tama Tonga can fly all the way to the finals. Tama Tonga comes out first, accompanied by Jado. Jado gives Tama some last minute encouragement here as the Rainmaker Okada comes out next. Okada's only 24 hours removed from one of the biggest beatings of his entire life. He got somehow the win over Archer, but he's got to be coming into this match not feeling very great. Tama also had a grueling match as well, and if you add the element of revenge and all this drama that was added to it being against Jay White, Tama Tonga's definitely mentally drained from last night as well, and it's hard to come up after such a big high. So it's going to be as much as a physical drain as a mental drain for both men, really. But you've got to imagine Okada's coming into this match feeling like a wrestling god after surviving the onslaught from Archer last night to go on the win anyway. So here we go. Both men are looking super focused, and they tie up. Okada gives a clean break at the start, and Tama then quickens the pacing to his liking. Tama has some of the best fast-paced offense in all of the world, let alone New Japan here. And this allows Tama to take control with his speed, showing great speed here, ending with a drop kick after a nice flurry at the beginning. Okada then slows it down, hitting a flapjack, and then definitely Tama's one of the best in Japan. Like, it's a quick pace, but don't forget Okada is super fast himself. So this is going to be good to see how this one goes. Tama is just as fast as those junior heavyweights, but he has heavyweight power behind him. And Okada is one of the few heavyweights that can match Tama with his speed. But Okada chooses to keep the pace slow, so it looks like his game plan is to not get to that fast pace where Tama Tonga really excels. Okada keeps it slow and hits massive elbow strikes in the corner. Tama then hits 3 big body punches in a row, but Okada hits a neck breaker right after that. So Tama will maybe want to target the neck. Speaking of necks, because Archer did a number on Okada's neck last night, so Tama might want to work on that. Anyway, Tama goes for body punches to wear down Okada's stamina instead. Tama might have the better stamina overall, but it'll be interesting to see because we've seen Okada have plenty of long matches. Meanwhile, Tama Tonga hasn't had nearly as many long matches in his career. The fight now spills out of the ring, and Okada hits a big DDT. Big moment here as Tama hits his head hard on the mat outside the ring. Jato's yelling at Tama just in case he got knocked out to wake him back up, and Tama's able to get in on the 19 count. If it went to 20, it would have been over. 5 minutes have passed now. There's no time limit in this match. This could go 2 hours if needed. Okada paintbrushes the head of Tama here. This, of course, fires up Tama Tonga. Okada had to know what he was doing, but Okada just absorbs all these attacks here, and Okada's plan was to try and intimidate Tama Tonga. Okada then hits a big strike, but Tama gets right back up and charges in, hitting a huge lariat here. Tama then hits another lariat and a back elbow with a scoop slam after. Tama rips his shirt off and fires up even more. So it looks like Okada maybe made a mistake trying to piss off Tama. It worked, and it got Tama into that high pace, high intensity match that he likes. So Tama now hits a corner splash and a backdrop suplex for a 2 count, and Tama's on a roll now with a flurry, but he's definitely going to need to be smart. The next 2 minutes of this match could decide who wins later on. I don't think it's going to be one in the next 2 minutes, but whatever happens the next 2 minutes is very key for who wins later on. Okada then blocks a Tongan twist right after that, and Okada quickens the pace himself, showing that he has the speed here, knocking Tama down with a back elbow, and then gaining some momentum, hitting another running elbow and a DDT. So Tama is dazed now, and Okada's gaining in confidence and momentum, but Tama is able to block the air raid crash neckbreaker. Now they have a striking exchange where Tama counters a lariat attempt, now hitting the Tongan twist. Big move there, and good move for Tama to stop the momentum. Blocking that air raid crash neckbreaker was also a huge key for moment for Tama Tonga. Okada rolls out of the ring now and baits Tama to coming in close and throws Tama Tonga into the barricade. But Tama blocks a landslide attempt outside of the ring, hitting the Tongan twist. So now Okada has now also hit his head hard on the mat outside the ring as we're at the 10-minute mark. Back in the ring, Okada's still dazed from that shot, but Okada is able to counter a Veleno attempt with a spine buster. Or maybe Tama actually did hit it because Tama gets up first after that, but I couldn't really tell. I looked like a sloppy spine buster, but I guess maybe Tama did hit it because Okada doesn't do sloppy moves on anything. So that probably makes more sense. I'm assuming Okada got hit with the Veleno then. Tama gets up, but Tama blocks an Okada attack here and hits a rolling Death Valley driver. Tama does. So Tama goes up to the top rope and successfully hits the Supreme Flow Splash. Okada's able to kick out at 2 on this one, but is in a little bit of trouble. Tama's already signaling for the gun stun, but Okada counters it into a neck breaker. Okada then applies the money clip, and Tama only has a little bit of time to get out of this before he passes out. Tama's just barely able to get the ropes before that happens, breaking the hold. Okada then hits a scoop slam and goes up to the top, hitting the top rope elbow drop, but Okada screams out in pain when he lands. His ribs are hurt from this long monster block, A block. Okada then does the Rainmaker pose, but Tama blocks the Rainmaker attempt with some back elbows, like 4 in a row. Then Tama hits a drop kick and the pace quickens, and it was just out of the Okada playbook with that drop kick. But Okada then blocks a Bloody Sunday attempt, and now he quickens the pace with the drop kick, and Okada doing Okada things right back at you. So Tama then blocks a Rainmaker attempt and hits Bloody Sunday, but Okada's able to kick out and is in big trouble now. That Bloody Sunday has him dazed, but Okada is able to still block the gun stun and hit a modified looking Rainmaker clothesline lariat, but it wasn't full, and he couldn't make the cover either. Once eventually Okada gets up, he does hit another Rainmaker here, and he goes for the third one here, a third Rainmaker attempt, but Tama blocks it. Okada then hits the landslide, but Tama just hits the gun stun before he goes down. So now both men are down as the crowd's going absolutely wild. Both recover for a little bit as they both taken some big shots in the last minute or so. By the time Tama is up, he's able to make the cover after that, but Okada kicks out. The next big shot of the match might win it, sending them to the finals. So Tama's up first, looking for a double underhook DST, but Okada's able to block it here. Okada falls down after blocking it. He's so tired. So Tama tries it again, and Okada gets a counter for a pin for a 2 count. When Tama then blocks a German suplex, Tama evades a drop kick again right after that. So Okada then blocks the DTS attempt again and blocks 2 gun stuns in a row. Then the second one, Okada's able to apply by the money clip again. Tama's just able to turn this into a pinfall, almost winning the match here, but Okada gets out. Tama then hits a Pele kick, and Okada's looking hurt. Tama Tonga wants to end it now, but Okada blocks the gun stunt attempt again. Okada then hits the Enziguri, followed by a Cobra Flosion, followed by the full Rainmaker Ripcord Lariat for the 1-2-3. The winner of this match by pinfall, Kazuchika Okada. Wow, going on to the finals. That was a great match. And now, definitely, like I've been saying since the beginning, I said when all these matches were announced, Tama was going to get to this point. He was going to lose to Okada, but he was going to have a great match against Jay White and Okada and set himself up for a title match later this year. Every single one of those predictions came true. And not only that, but Tama did prove himself that he could do great in those matches, just like I figured he would. So that sets up all Tama has to do now. He's got one more test. Tama Tonga is going to have a big main event, maybe in October, in the main event for the world title against Jay White. Can Tama Tonga have a classic, like 40-minute title match? Of course, he's going to lose, but this is the final test. Tama Tonga passed the first two tests. He had the amazing match with Jay White. He had the amazing match with Okada in G1 this year. The final test, 40-minute match for the title in the main event against Jay White and an upcoming event. If Tama Tonga can prove that he has a great 40-minute main event, you will see Tama Tonga win the IWGP World Heavyweight title in 2023. Mark my words. And I think Tama Tonga, just like I predicted for this entire tournament, will have an amazing 40-minute match with Jay White, and he will win the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship in 2023. Great stuff. Anyway, Okada was always my pick to win this G1. He now moves on to the finals. We'll see who he takes on in the main event right coming up next. But Okada gives Tama Tonga a huge hug here and then thanks the fans. So Okada's definitely going to be watching this next match closely, along with the entire rest of the wrestling world, because it is a first time ever meeting between Tetsuya Naito and Will Ospreay in the main event. And it also is a G1 Climax 32 semifinal. Both men's journey to the semifinals were audition. It was definitely in trouble with Naito finishing 0-2 to start the event and winning 4 in a row to get here. Ospreay was just fortunate enough to reach the final 4, thanks in part to Shingo losing on the final day to El Phantasmo, with Ospreay losing to Finlay and Shingo during the G1. So for Naito, this G1 means his biggest and potentially final chance to headline the Tokyo Dome here for Wrestle Kingdom 17, while Ospreay is fighting for his last singles achievement in his entire career. The only trophy missing in Ospreay's trophy cabinet is the G1 trophy. With both men took gambles on themselves to form and forge their own paths, creating factions, Los Ingobernables de Japón and the United Empire. Tonight, the only one can get through, and this is going to be awesome. First time ever meeting. So Naito comes out first, looking super focused here in his suit. Ospreay comes out next. He's got the U.S. title around his neck. He said he won't wear it around his waist until he defeats David Finlay for the in the title match. So the British title's around his waist as well. This is going to be epic. The crowd gets super loud when the bell rings to start this match. And here we go. Let's strap in. Naito and Ospreay soak it all in from the big cheers from the crowd. Then they stare at each other. This is going to be a many-act story. Let's see what the first act is like. They start with a tie-up, then a clean break from Naito, but right after, Naito kicks Will Ospreay and right in the gut. So Ospreay is all taped up on his shoulder and neck. Don't forget, he's been taking some big shots to his neck. So Naito knows that, and he targets the neck right away. But then they have an amazing quick reversal sequence. One of those sequences that just makes you go, wow. And nothing I can write down. Just an amazing. We get a couple of those during this match. Just amazing quick reversal sequences. This is when I noticed that Goto has accompanied by Will Ospreay out to the ring, and he's going to be ringside, barking out a little bit of advice here and there for Ospreay. So they reset after that really quick flurry ended with Naito doing the Tranquilo pose. Now Ospreay hits a Manhattan drop and a nasty chop right into a standing shooting star press. So a great sick combo right there. Ospreay then hits another hard chop, and Naito's cowering away, kind of trying to get away, but Ospreay hits another nasty chop. Naito's still cowering away, so Ospreay gets caught on the ropes right after that. Naito then hits a draping neck breaker off the ropes and right onto that damaged neck of Ospreay. Then a snap drop kick, a drop kick right after. What was it? A snapmare into a drop kick, and then another neck breaker by Naito. And Ospreay's in a little bit of trouble already. All that damage to Ospreay is definitely taking its toll over the last month. It's catching up to him now, especially that sneak attack pile driver from Juice on the entrance ramp only about 3 or 4 days ago. So Naito now has a head scissors on the neck, but Ospreay is able to get to the ropes eventually. There is one big giant target on Will Ospreay's neck. Now Naito hits more elbow strikes to the neck to stop Ospreay's next attack. Naito then hits combination cabron and got it flush right in the face of Ospreay. Ospreay kicks out at 1, however, showing that he's not going to be beaten easily tonight. Naito now works over a cravat again on the neck. Then they have another really great reversal sequence ending with a springboard kick from Will Ospreay that takes Naito down. Ospreay uses this time to recover and maybe set up a game plan that he desperately needed a little time here. Ospreay then quickens the pace right after that and hits a big Yakuza kick after a nice combo right before that. Ospreay then jumps off the ropes for a phenomenal forearm and a 2 count. Naito then gets low to the mat, blocking the next attack, but I think it was like a power bomb or something, but Ospreay hits another big chop right after that. Now Ospreay lifts Naito up, but Naito strikes his way out of a power bomb attempt. Naito locks in his leg full Nelson submission on the mat, and this is stretching Ospreay's neck badly. Eventually, he gets to the ropes, but again, his neck got damaged a lot there. Ospreay then blocks a Gloria attempt, and Naito hits more elbows to the neck. Ospreay then does a backflip to evade an attack, and then hits a Spanish fly right on the mat. That looked awesome. Okan now is giving Ospreay a little bit of advice from ringside. After that, Ospreay's now talking trash to Naito, so maybe Okan said, make Naito mad. So they start a forearm battle from their knees. Now it gets up to their feet, and they're having a striking exchange. And Will Ospreay is definitely going to have to be careful with this tactic because his neck can't take too much more damage like that. But Ospreay hits a massive overhead slap right to the face, but Naito hits a regular slap to Ospreay's face after that. Ospreay laughs at this and then tries to hit the hidden blade, but Naito ducks it. Ospreay then overpowers a DDT attempt, and Ospreay hits a brainbuster on Naito. Naito then counters the next move after that with a Hurricane Rana for a 2 count. Then a tornado DDT from Naito is assisted by the ropes, and that crushes Ospreay's neck once again. Ospreay's heart is going to keep him fighting in this one, but eventually his neck is going to fail him after any more shots like that. So I was just about to write this in my note. I was going to say, if Naito starts hitting those nasty 12-6 elbow strikes to the knee or to the neck, then it's going to be in trouble. But then before I can even write that, Naito starts hitting those nasty elbow strikes to the neck. Ospreay's in big trouble after about 6 shots. Then Naito hits 3 more, and Ospreay absolutely crumples to the mat. Naito then hits Gloria, but Ospreay's able to kick out still. Ospreay can't even get up, so Naito gets him up, and Ospreay blocks the Destino attempt. Naito then sends Ospreay hard into the corner and sets Ospreay on the top rope, hitting a poison Rana off the top rope. That was crazy. Holy crap. So Ospreay is able to kick out of this just barely. Again, his neck got crumpled into the mat. Eventually, Ospreay is able to fight back and hit a cradle gotch style pile driver. Then Ospreay hits the hidden blade, but Naito is able to counter a Stormbreaker attempt with Destino. Both men are now down on the mat, just having taken huge shots. So let's break down what we just heard, or what I just said. Ospreay, that cradle gotch style pile driver looked amazing. Then Ospreay flushed hidden blade from the front, caught all of it. But Naito's able to counter because Ospreay doesn't go for the pin. Ospreay instead goes for the Stormbreaker, and then it's countered in midair into the Destino. Both men had to recover from that one. Once they get up, Ospreay blocks a Gloria attempt and hits a nasty hook kick right to that Naito eye that has a little bit of damage on it. Naito then hits a spine buster after that, but Ospreay counters the next move and hits the Chelsea Green forearm to the back of the head. So now Naito ducks under a hidden blade attempt and hits Destino, but somehow Will Ospreay has the heart to kick out. Everyone in the building is freaking out after that one. Then Ospreay blocks a Destino attempt and hits a nasty hidden blade, but Naito's still able to kick out as well at 2. So then Ospreay hits the Stormbreaker and got all of it, and the referee counts 1, 2, 3. The winner of this match by pinfall Will Ospreay going on to the finals. Wow, what a match here. What a great main event. You have to watch this match for sure. Even without even with a little bit of the spamming of finishers towards the end, it was an absolutely incredible match even before that point in time. And then the kicking out of king finishers actually works in New Japan because it's kind of rare for people to kick out of that many finishers. So it still had a good effect. I thought it was over after the Hidden Blade. I thought it was also over after that Destino, and then neither of them finished the match. So they got me on that one. I was like, holy crap, Naito kicked out of that Hidden Blade. Shows real toughness. Like, you could have been knocked out unconscious for real. So Will Ospreay might just be the best pro wrestler on the planet, and he'll get the chance to prove it tomorrow night against Okada in the finals. So you never know, but I don't want to put bad negative vibes in the air, but you never know. This could have been the final G1 match ever for Tetsuya Naito, which would be a crying shame if true. He's one of my favorites of all time, but you never know. Naito's knees are absolutely wrecked. He's going to go till the wheels fall off, but sometimes when the wheels fall off, you just have no control and you can't go anymore. Meanwhile, hopefully it's not, and hopefully Naito's in more G1s to come. Meanwhile, Okada's going to get a little bit of chance of revenge against Ospreay, who stabbed him in the back almost exactly 2 years ago at the G1 30 finals when Will Ospreay formed the United Empire and left Chaos. So Will Ospreay has the microphone in front of the crowd, and he says, "Louder, Budokan, Moto, more. Naito, good showing. Thank you." This doesn't get spoken about enough, but in May, I nearly died. I had a kidney infection that nearly killed me. 3 months later, I'm in the G1 finals, and my opponent is a man seemingly I can't beat on my own. In the 7 matches, Okada has won 6 of them. Now everyone is doubting me because they think I can't beat Okada, but I've seen it done. AJ Styles, Tanahashi, Naito, and Jay White, they all beat Okada. You know what makes me different, though? I know in my heart that I'm better than those guys. I'm the best wrestler in the world today. Best of the Super Junior, Super J Cup, New Japan Cup, World Champion, Tag Champion, US Champion, British Champion. There's just one more. Believe me, I will not lose. I will beat Okada, and I will lead New Japan out of the dark ages and back into the light. What a promo from Will Ospreay after an incredible match. Holy crap. Will Ospreay celebrates with Great-O-Khan, waving the United Empire flag behind him as Ospreay holds up the U.S. and British heavyweight titles. What an image. Are we going to see the same image tomorrow night, only with Will Ospreay holding the only missing trophy from his trophy cabinet? Will Ospreay goes then over to the English commentary table, and Will Ospreay says, "This is an open invite. Jay White, come do commentary for the finals and watch me beat Okada up close." So maybe potentially we'll be getting Jay White on commentary tomorrow. That sounds good to me. In the back now, Ospreay with another good promo. He says, "Get me a chair," and I'm exhausted. For me, that was exciting. The first time ever with Naito. What an honor. 2 years ago, when you won G1, you proclaimed yourself a new star. I'd love to do it again. He really tested me. Naito moves unlike anyone else in the ring in there, but we can't keep running the same cycle over and over again. I formed the United Empire, and when we have one more member coming as a surprise, but I wanted to form them and do something different. I wanted to bring back class to professional wrestling. We are all class in the ring. Tomorrow, I have to back up my words. You know how many times I have to walk the shame losing to Okada? 6 times. There's only one thing you can do, and that's rely on yourself. I'm pushing on the gas pedal. The Budokan's not sold out, and that's on me. It torments me that I can't hear them. I feel like I'm letting the company down. Yes, it's the pandemic, but now it's now or never. Tomorrow, Okada, you meet me at the top, and I won't fall down again. This G1 is mine because I'm inevitable. And then Will Ospreay leaves to go rest up for tomorrow's main event. So great stuff from Will Ospreay inside and outside the ring. I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. And will we even see the new United Empire member join tomorrow? And we might have a lot of other big surprises, not just the amazing main event of G1 Climax 32 final between Will Ospreay and Kazuchika Okada with everything on the line, including the main event of Wrestle Kingdom 17. But you also can expect some more surprises, maybe returns or debuts. We might, like 2 years ago, we saw the formation of United Empire, so you never know. Could be a new faction. We don't know what's going to happen. They haven't even announced what the other matches other than the main event are. So I'm really looking forward to tomorrow's event. Before then, I'll put out the backstage comments. I'm sure there's going to be some interesting ones other than what Will Ospreay said. So it'll definitely be interesting. Hopefully Tama Tonga had something to say, and we'll hear that. So really good stuff. I'll be here again in about I don't know, 23 hours, and we'll talk about what happened in the finals. So I can't wait. Thanks for tuning in, and you guys have a great day. I'll talk to you again real soon. Peace.